Hello everyone, good evening. Can you hear me? Please confirm.
Yes, we can.
Great, thanks for confirmation. Okay guys, so it's our first day of VMware Virtualization training. So before we start the session, just wanted to know how much you compatible with virtualization, or about your current domain and about your IT experience. Guys, can you hear me? Please confirm. Rohit, can you hear me? Mansingh? Okay, great. Hello. So guys, just need to wait 5 minutes more because some participants are also trying to join. So we'll start in next 5 minutes.
Good afternoon, sir.
Hi, good evening. Okay, guys, I think we need to start. It's 12 minutes is already completed. So in our demonstration, we discussed about the basic of virtualization, like the virtualization is categorized in two parts. We discussed about work-based and second is technology-based. Hypervisor type 1, hypervisor type 2, we have already completed, right? So let me know if anyone have any question related to the basic understanding of virtualization, because if you want to be an expert in any product of virtual VMware, I'm not talking about only the VCSA or data center, because you know that in VMware we have an N number of product, NSX. You can prepare yourself for VDI. I'm talking about the Horizon. You can prepare yourself for the cloud plus virtualization, VMware on virtualization. So N number of products are available in VMware. So if you want to be expert with everyone, you must need to know about the content of VCSA first. Because in case of every content, you must need to know about how we can set up our ESXi environment and vCenter environment. So you can say that this is the base, means the VCSA or BCP, this is the base of VMware virtualization to understand each and everything. Okay, so I'm going to start from very basic, like as in our first session, we already discussed about how we can manage the manage the virtualization environment. We discussed about the tools that can help us to create a setup. From today, because it's our session, it's not a type of demo class. So this is our day one. So I'm going to start from very basic, like as an installation of ESXi, and after that we'll discuss about the content that we need to cover in case of ESXi. First, ESXi. Second, we'll discuss about share storage, then networking, then domain controller, then vCenter, HA, DRS, and all the content, all the topics which is available in our vCenter server. If anyone have question related to the previous topic or demonstration class, please let me know, because in case of our demonstration, we discussed about just the basic understanding of what is virtualization and types of hypervisor, like that. We discussed about the basic things. Okay, so let me explain from very basic of VMware virtualization. So as we know that we have a number of version of ESXi that you can prepare yourself. We need to start from the vSphere ESXi host, right? So vSphere ESXi host, as we know that ESXi is a type of hypervisor type 1, means you can say that bare metal virtualization that we can install directly on our base machine. Any hypervisor, any hypervisor type 1 or bare metal operating system, bare metal application, we can directly install on the base machine. So ESXi is the best example that we can install on our base machine. For example, we have a one hardware in the sense I'm talking about the desktop or maybe workstation that you purchased with good configuration. This is your system, and the configuration of this machine is approximately 32 gig of RAM. Think about it. And up to 4 core of CPU and up to 1 TB of hard drive, right? This is the configuration of our desktop or laptop or maybe a workstation. I'm planning to use this machine to install the vSphere ESXi host. So we just need to download the ISO image of ESXi. It's a free for 60 days. If you want to download, you need to sign up yourself and you can download the ISO image for next 60 days. Put it into the pen drive, means make a bootable pen drive. and with the help of bootable pen drive, we are able to install. Okay, so once you install the ESXi on your base machine, it gives you option to access through GUI. By using the IP address of ESXi, we are able to access the geographical panel, means GUI panel. This is considered as a web client, but because for this particular task, you need to open any browser and type the IP address of your ESXi host, for example, provide the username and password, you are able to log in. Okay, so in our case, what I'm going to do, in our case, because we are on training, so I'm going to use my 32 gig of machine with the VMware workstation. With the help of VMware workstation, we'll install ESXi host. So before we start the installation of our ESXi, let me know if anyone have question related to the basic understanding of virtualization. You can drop a message or you can unmute yourself and please let me know if you have any doubt or questions about the basic of VMware vSphere. Anyone, guys? Any question? Okay, no problem. So I'm going to start from very basic, like as the first step, installation of VMware vSphere ESXi host. This is day one of our training. So the first task, our first lab, you can say that a first practical to manage vSphere ESXi. Okay, so in this part, we need to understand lots of things. We need to cover lots of things, like as we'll start from very basic. What is ESXi? We have already discussed. Second step, second option about hardware configuration. I'm talking about the basic hardware requirement. Third step, installation of ESXi. This is really important, of ESXi host. Fourth step, access ESXi using GUI. GUI in the sense, by using the web browser. Manage DCUI panel. We'll discuss about how we can manage the services with the help of DCUI panel. We'll talk about how to access ESXi host using PuTTY terminal, which is really important. Okay. This is a basic understanding of ESXi. Once we complete the part of ESXi, we will move ourselves to virtual machine management, but not now. First agenda to understand and configure our ESXi environment. This is our ESXi setup. Okay. Any question, any doubt, guys, about the points that I mentioned? Any point that you want to add from your side? Because it's just a startup, just a basic of our ESXi host management. Anyone, guys, any question, please let me know. You can unmute yourself or you can drop a message. Definitely, this is day one, Rohit, and today we need to understand about the basic of ESXi. We will install 2 or 3 different ESXi and add with the help of vCenter server. Got right? So this is the day one. We need to understand each and everything. If you want to be expert in virtualization, so we must need to start from very basic. No worry about the troubleshooting. No worry about the interview question. I have already created up to 50 plus interview questions. Those questions can really help you to crack any virtualization interview. And I have a list of up to 30 common troubleshooting, 30 common problems related to the ESXi and vCenter server. So we will discuss, but not in single day. Once we complete the lots of content, once we have a number of services related to the virtualization, we'll discuss about the troubleshooting part. No worry about it. Activated, you want to means talking about the licenses, right? So in case of licenses, we need to purchase the license first. If you want to perform and install the ESXi only for the testing purpose, so 60 days is enough, because once you turn off your ESXi, it will again give you the 60 days. So you can just create your account over a VMware site. I have already shared the entire link in last video, in last demonstration. So you can just, so you need to purchase the license. If you want to activate the ESXi, purchase the license, simple. And about the procedure, I'll give you the step how you can provide the keys detail or license key to our ESXi host. Okay, cloud host can be activated. Cloud host in the sense like unable to understand about the cloud host. Cloud host, you can connect your ESXi host with the AWS or Azure portal with the help of some agents. And cloud option, the connectivity of cloud portal, which is provided by the vCenter server. Not migration, it's a kind of hybrid environment. For every migration, VMware virtualization and vCenter setup required. Okay, migration, yes, it can help you to migrate your on-premises resources to Azure or AWS portal. But if you want to create a hybrid setup, like you want to purchase few services from Azure and you want to establish few services on on-premises VMware, so both combination of both services is considered as a hybrid environment.
So for the lab, we will be doing all the practicals on VMware Workstation Pro, right? Like,
Yes, yes. You just need, if you have a single machine with good configuration like 16 gig or 32 gig. So yes, please download the Workstation 16 Pro and install the ESXi, and later we'll install the domain and share storage and vCenter server as well. The cloud portal and cloud storage using host setup. See, cloud portal is a totally separate part. Cloud means if you want to proceed with Azure or AWS, you need to purchase the license. You need to purchase the subscription. You need to sign up yourself over Azure or AWS portal by using any mail ID. Then you need to purchase a free trial account or pay as you go account or any MSDN account. So you need to purchase the subscription and start using the services. If you want to make a connection with your host that you establish on on-premises, so Azure will give you option to make a connectivity with the Azure file sync service. AWS can give you option to connect with the help of storage gateway. So a number of services are available that give us option to make a connectivity between both. Okay, so this is the basic understanding. I'm just going to install our VMware workstation, means I have already installed. That's why I'm going to define you about cloud portal and cloud storage. You want to use these services, you need to sign up first. You need to purchase the subscription. And no any platform can provide you option to install ESXi on any cloud provider. Could you please elaborate more about your question? Means what exactly you want to do with cloud portal? We cannot proceed only for the storage. You need to sign up yourself and purchase the subscription on portal. And after subscription, you can purchase anything, not only the storage. You can purchase the storage, website, database services, virtual machine, or any kind of application services. You can purchase anything, but without subscription, not possible to purchase anything from the portal. Once you need to purchase the subscription, and after that you can go for storage or go for database, go for anything. Definitely you need to purchase a domain. If you want to host your own website, you need to purchase your domain from godaddy.com, host Namecheap or anything. This is a totally separate part. We are on page of VMware virtualization. So we are talking about the VMware. So let me know about, in case of VMware, what you want to do. Domain, cloud, storage packet, these all are the separate part which is related to the cloud technology, not related to the ESXi. If you want to establish your website or domain or web server, so you can purchase, you can establish on ESXi, that we will discuss in our session. So any other question, guys, about the virtualization, about the points that I mentioned? Like as what is ESXi, about the hardware, means minimum hardware requirement to install the ESXi, and installation procedure we need to know about the access ESXi with the help of GUI panel. We'll discuss about the DCUI, what is use of DCUI, how we can access the ESXi host using the PuTTY terminal. So these all are the points I'm just going to cover and show you the practical. This is our Windows machine, Windows 10 machine. I have already installed VMware Workstation 10, and I'm going to install one ESXi host. So just need to click on files, click on create new virtual machine. I think in our demonstration we discussed, but I'm going to show you again. Click. This is the install disk from image, and select your ESXi host. So I'm going to proceed with ESXi 6.5 because most of organizations prefer to use the ESXi 6.5.
Manjit, from I lost a link for ISO download. Can you show me where was the link? I have the page open, but there are like a lot of options: essential, plus, standard.
You want to download the
ESXi 6.5.
ESXi host? Okay.
I'm already on that page, but I just don't know which one to download. Like,
okay, you need to download the ISO image of 6.5.
but there are multiple versions, like essential, plus, standard.
You proceed with enterprise or standard.
Okay.
No, VMware cannot help you to manage the storage services. A storage that you want to establish for a cloud portal. So cloud portal can provide you service to manage the storage. VMware storage is a totally separate part. VMware software is a totally separate part that give us option to create our own inventory. And cloud portal inventory is a totally separate.
Would you mind showing that link so I can make sure I download the right ISO?
You want to download the ISO image, right?
Yes.
Have you created your account over a VMware site?
Yes, I did that.
Okay, great. So you are able to find this like this, right?
Yes. Yeah, I'm already in this page right now.
Okay, fine. So are you able to see the hypervisor Win 6.5 U3A because updated 3?
Yes.
Click on go to download, and you should download the ISO. It's a 316.13 MB file. Just ESXi ISO VMware vSphere hypervisor ESXi ISO. Just need to click here. I shared the link, please. You can use it.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, so let me show you the step how you can install the ESXi host on ISO image. Just need to select the ISO image, click next, and again next. Type the name of your ESXi. So I'm just going to type any name like ESXi host. Select the location of your hard drive. Like I'm going to put entire virtual machine in my external hard drive. Not external hard drive. I connected different hard disks to contain the entire ESX. Contain the entire virtual machines hard disk. Next. And about the storage, if we talk about the minimum hardware requirements, so 40 gig is enough to install the ESXi, because we will use the shared storage to manage the virtual machine. But for now, I'm going to install with 40 gig of space. Next. And about the RAM, so minimum 4 gig RAM is required. I'm just going to make it 8 gig because we want to install it properly. And make sure your connection should be a bridge. The meaning of bridge connection, it will redirect you on your Wi-Fi router that you establish in our environment. You will be get a default IP address, DSCP IP address from your Wi-Fi router. So I'm going to proceed with bridge connection, click OK and finish. Turn on the ESXi and follow the step to install ESXi host in VMware Workstation. Over a cloud, everything is possible. If you want to test your software, if you want to manage the automation services, every cloud provider can give you option to set up your environment. If you talk about the cloud technology, so yes, you have option to set up automation services. If you want to manage your software testing, any kind of testing with your software, yes, it is possible over Azure, over AWS, or Google Cloud as well. All cloud provider can give us option to manage the automation part. This is the way to install the ESXi host. Means the first step, we just need to boot our machine from ISO image and follow the instruction.
Manjit, I downloaded the, sorry, I'm logged in, but my download option is grayed out for the ISO.
Could you please use the link that I shared?
That's what I'm using.
Okay. So any error message? You're getting any
I'll
error
tell you in
message?
a moment. I just refreshed. It says you either are not entitled or do not have permissions to download this product. Check with your VMware super user, procurement or administrator.
Okay, do one thing. Log in your VMware using incognito wizard and try to log in with same user ID and password and try again. Press enter to continue. For the installation, just press enter. F11, accept the terms. And press enter again. And you must need to provide password. The default username is root, but you can decide your own password. Press enter to continue. And press enter again and F11 to proceed for the installation services. Now, it will take 5 to 7 minutes according to the configuration of your laptop. As per the configuration, it will take time of 7 to 8 minutes. That's it.
I still have the same thing in incognito mode.
No worry about it. I'm going to share ISO image through Google Drive. Give me 1 minute.
Okay.
Because I need to check what exactly happened with your account. So I need to verify. Installation is in progress. It will take up to 5 to 7 minutes. Meanwhile, I'm going to share the.
And just one more question. As a hardware, you selected external storage, you said?
Not external storage. Actually, in my desktop, I have a 2 different hard drive. One is
Oh.
SSD that contain the operating system, and another
Gotcha.
I added a 1 TB of hard drive as a HDD, normal hard drive.
Okay.
So I put it the virtual machines host file in location of HDD. Okay, 27% completed. We need to wait. Please use this link to download the ESXi host. Fine. So actually what happened in case of 27%, they need to download a number of packages. A number of packages are, you can say that a number of files. Those files are responsible to run our ESXi setup. So that's why it take time on a percentage of 27. Meanwhile, if anyone have question, please let me know, because we just started our session and try to understand about the procedure, how we can install the ESXi host on VMware workstation. Rohit, we have a one important service called life cycle management. Okay. So with the help of life cycle management, we are able to migrate ESXi from 6.5 to 6.7 or 7.0 as well. You can upgrade or you can transfer the resources from one version to another version. Now we successfully installed the ESXi host on VMware Workstation. Let's talk about the features which is available in ESXi. So as we know that we can connect our ESXi with the help of three different ways. One is using the web client, second with the help of DCUI panel, and third option, we are able to connect our ESXi host with the help of, you can say that, PuTTY terminal. The PuTTY terminal can help us to troubleshoot the environment. Let's try to understand about how we can manage it.
I just have a quick question. So whatever process we are doing right now, this is not considered as a bare metal, right? Because we are using Workstation Pro on top of Windows.
Right. So VMware Workstation is a part of hypervisor type 2 and ESXi is a type of hypervisor 1.
Okay.
The configuration required for ESXi host, if you have a 8 gig RAM based laptop or desktop, so definitely we are able to smoothly run the ESXi host. The single ESXi host required a 4 gig of RAM, 40 gig of hard drive, and up to 2 core of CPU. Windows 10, no matter of operating system. If you have a Windows 10, Windows 7, Windows 8, you need to install the workstation, and over a workstation, we are able to install ESXi host. Fine. We are able to install ESXi host, and by default, we are getting IP address started from 192.168.1.9. And this is the default IP address. Default IP address in the sense that we are getting from the DSCP because we uses the bridge connection. So in case of bridge connection, our ISP, our you can say that Wi-Fi router can directly assign one IP address to our virtual machines. So as we know that we have a 3 different way to access the ESXi host. Let's talk about the method or way that can help us to access the ESXi host. This is our ESXi host that we install. IP address of this ESXi is 192.168.1.9. Okay. We are able to connect our ESXi through GUI, which is considered as a web client. Okay. Using the web browser, we can access it. Second option is DCUI panel. Third option is related to the PuTTY terminal. So these 3 different methods can help us to connect our ESXi host. Okay. Talk about the web clients. The meaning of web client is you need to open the browser, any of browser, type the IP address of your ESXi 192.168.1.9 like this. Provide the username and password, and you can access the GUI. I'm going to show you the step. Open any browser, like in my case, I'm going to proceed with one of built-in browser. Our IP address is 192.168. .1.9, press enter. And we need to provide the username and password. And by default, the username is root, and password, the password that you used while installation of ESXi host. And this is the panel, means this is considered as an inventory. Host, manage, monitor, virtual machine, storage, networking. These all are the options which is available in the panel or inventory of ESXi host. So our responsibility to understand each and everything, like we are responsible to manage the host, configure the virtual machine, manage the storage services, and configure the network part of ESXi host. So these all are the options or services which is available, and we are responsible to manage it. Next, talk about DCUI. So DCUI is basically, this is the page of DCUI. Whenever we press F2, it will redirect you on page of DCUI. This particular screen is considered as a DCUI, means direct console user interface. Question is, why we need to use DCUI? So basically, the DCUI is the direct console user interface that give us option to configure the ESXi, like as change the IP address, change the password, or configure manual IP address, and it also help us to manage the manage or view the logs. So DCUI is a direct control user interface.
नहीं
Okay, so this is the option that we need to understand, means how we can manage the manual IP address, that we will discuss about it. Fine. Talk about PuTTY terminal. So for the PuTTY terminal, we are able to access our ESXi host with the help of PuTTY terminal. Means you need to install the PuTTY on any Windows computer and provide the IP address of our ESXi host, and we can. But for now, I'm just going to define the options, which is related to the GUI panel. The first step we need to understand about the GUI option. Back to the browser and try to understand about the settings which is available. The first option is host, that can define you the every information related to ESXi. 6.5 update and number of uptime 0 because we just installed. CPU that I provided 5.9 gigahertz. RAM I provided 6.96 and up to 20% optimized, and rest of means are free. 80% free space available in our RAM. Next option is the storage. Only 3% storage are consumed by the ESXi host and up to 97% storage. Next, this is the basic information about the hardware, CPU, RAM, about the DNS, about the gateway. It provides the built-in storage. Not built-in storage, you can say that it's a type of local storage. So host can give us option to understand about the configuration of ESXi host. Next, management. In case of management, we have a number of options, like as in case of system, you can verify the system settings. Auto start of our virtual machine in case of migration, and in case of HA as well. You can configure the swap memory, which is considered as a page file of ESXi host. Another option is date and time, which is considered as a NTP. If you want to manage the date and time, the system can help you. The manage option can help us. But for the date and time, you should configure the domain, and with the help of domain, you can configure your NTP with your domain server. Hardware option means which is give you the information about your PCI card or another card that you connected. If you are using laptop or desktop, it can give you option to manage the policy related to the power supply. This is the license panel. If you want to provide the license, if you have a license key, we just need to open this particular option, click assign license, provide the detail of your license, and just need to click license. Next, package information, which is built-in package provided by the ESXi or VMware vSphere. This is services, how many services are currently running, how many services are down or stopped. You can just check here, and it gives you option to start from here as well. Just right click on service, click start. Last option is security and user. The meaning of security and user, for example, your ESXi connected with domain controller. You want to access the user of Active Directory services. So this particular option can help us. But currently we don't have any domain. We don't have any server operating system. So in case of server operating system, in case of domain management, we'll install one server and try to add our ESXi host, but not now. Because we need to start from very basic. We need to start from the virtual machines management. Talk about the content that we need to cover in case of virtual machine management. So let me show you the topics that we need to cover in case of virtual machine management. Second step, vSphere virtual machine management. A number of topics that we need to cover in case of VM management with ESXi host. Let's start from very basic. We'll start from creating virtual machine, create VM. We'll talk about mount OS to virtual machine, install operating system, then talk about the VMware tool. We'll discuss about the virtual machine files, VM files. Whenever we create a virtual machine, VMware can create automatically n number of files, up to 6 file and 9 file once you activate, and 12 file when you configure the snapshot. So it's really important for us. We should know about the how many files are automatically created when we proceed with the virtual machines. Then we'll discuss about configure VM. So in case of configuring virtual machine, add disk. I'm talking about hard drive. We'll discuss about RAM management if you want to increase the RAM. We'll talk about hot plug management, how to configure hot plug. We are responsible to manage the snapshot as well. So these all are the topics, these all are the content that we need to cover in case of only virtual machine. I'm not talking about the entire ESXi. These all are the topics that we need to cover in case of only virtual machines management. Is it fine, guys? Please let me know if anyone have questions related to the topics that we completed. Anyone? Please confirm. What is that hard plug?
What is hot plug?
Hot plug is a service which is available in each and every ESXi host. With the help of this particular option, we are able to change the RAM and CPU of our virtual machine in case of your virtual machine running.
Okay, thank you.
Right? Like in case of real environment, no one can allow you to allow you for downtime. Right? We don't have a rights to ask the client, please shut down your machine because I'm increasing your RAM or CPU. So on the day one, if you establish your server and you think about client should be, maybe client will ask us for increasing RAM or CPU, not for hard drive. Hot plug is not applicable for hard drive. Hot plug is only and only for our RAM and CPU. That's it. Yes, virtual server is a part of virtual machine. The virtual machine server is an operating system, right? And virtual machine that you can create, you can install any operating system, not only the server. You can install Linux, you can install normal Windows operating system, Ubuntu, anything you can install. So server is an operating system. Virtual machine is a particular platform. What is VMware tools installation? Yes, VMware tools. Although I'll give you the practical, but let me define you about the use of VMware tools. Guys, I hope all of you know, whenever you purchase the laptop or desktop, you need to install some drivers. Like you need to install Wi-Fi driver, or maybe LAN card driver, sound driver, kind of thing. So VMware tool is a package of driver. Whenever you create a virtual machine in ESXi host and install Windows 7, Windows 10, or Windows 11 operating system in your virtual machine, you must need to install VMware tools, because without VMware tools, you are unable to access your virtual machine properly. Means lots of issues, like you are unable to use your touchpad or mouse or keyboard properly. So I'll help you how you can install the VMware tools to our virtual machine. Is it clear? You're welcome. Fine, guys. So this is our agenda. 8 different points I mentioned, and means to be an expert, we need to start from basics. So this is not a basic because we will discuss about the troubleshooting of our virtual machine in this part. Once we complete the 8 point, we'll talk about the troubleshooting, like as if you are unable to take a snapshot, if you are unable to launch the snapshot, so we will discuss about the troubleshooting panel, troubleshooting activity as well. So let me show you, create a virtual machine. This is the first practical that we need to perform. Open your virtual machine panel, means the inventory of ESXi host. Click virtual machines. Click create or register virtual machine. We have a 3 different way: create virtual machine, deploy virtual machine from OVF or OVA, register an existing virtual machine. So we don't have any existing virtual machine, so we are unable to use the register option. OVF and OVA, the important part. So P2V, B2V. P2V means physical to virtual. For example, this is my Windows 10 desktop. I want to convert it into the VMware virtual machine. So the conversion is considered as a P2V, physical to virtual. And for this particular task, whenever you convert your physical machine to virtual, you will be get a file in format of OVF or OVA, right? You need to deploy your OVF on ESXi and you will get a virtual machine. We'll discuss about the practical. But for now, click on create new virtual machine. Next, type the name of your VM. Any name you can put here. Like I'm going to proceed with Windows 10. This is the compatibility information. ESXi 6.5, guest operating system. You can select the guest OS type. I'm going to install Windows operating system and select the operating system from list, Windows 10 64-bit. Always try to create your virtual machine with 64-bit. Otherwise, it may be create a problem with HA and DRS. If you created your virtual machine in format of 32-bit, definitely it create a problem in case of HA and DRS. So you always try to create a virtual machine with 64-bit. Next, this is data center, 32 gig, 31 gig free space, which is available. Next. And this is the hardware configuration, how much RAM, how much CPU you want to provide. So I want to provide 2 gig of RAM and just 15 gig of hard drive. That's it. And make sure you need to proceed with thin provision. So we have a 3 different options: thin provision, thick provision, lazy, thick provision, eagerly. The thin provision can help us to save the space from our storage. Next, and finish. Now we successfully created our virtual machine. Our virtual machine is ready to use, but unfortunately, we don't have any operating system, correct? We don't have any OS. We just created our virtual machine. And it's our responsibility to install the operating system in this VM. Is it clear? This is the blank virtual machine. Turn on it. It will display cannot find operating system because you don't have a OS. You haven't applied, you haven't assigned the operating system. I hope all of you understand about the procedure to install create the virtual machine in ESXi. Is it fine?
Fine.
Next step, our responsibility to install the operating system. The procedure of installation, ESXi, virtual machine installation in our ESXi. Operating system not found, yes, because we don't have any operating system. Second important part, how we can mount the OS. Mount the OS means we want to install the operating system in our ESXi based virtual machine. So procedure, let's talk about the procedure, how we can install the OS in virtual machine. We are able to find action button, click here, go to the edit setting. In the edit setting option, we are able to find disk, means CD and DVD, select host device, and then proceed with data center. So unfortunately, we don't have any ISO image, because without operating system, without ISO image, we are unable to install the OS. So what we need to do, this is the data center, data store. You need to click on upload. And first step, you need to upload the ISO image. So I'm going to upload the ISO image, which is available in my external storage that I connected. This is Windows 10. Capacity of Windows 10 ISO image is 5.8 gig required to upload. Just need to click upload and install. Uploading process is started. This is also considered as a, you can also say that this is the way to mount it.
Windows 10 ISO we can download from Microsoft site, right?
Correct, you can. So it will take 5 to 7 minutes. Once it's installed successfully, we will proceed for next step.
This is uploading part, right? Not installation, I guess.
No, uploading, mounting.
Okay.
Mount.
After this, we need to install.
After that, we are able to install.
So similar to ESXi client, is there any other clients available?
Means for the virtualization you're talking?
Yes.
We have a Zen server, product of Citrix.
Okay.
So in case of Zen server, they perform the same task like this.
Okay. So that GUI also appears similar to this ESXi post.
Correct.
Okay. So hypervisor is basically a software, right?
Yeah, it's a type of operating system, you can say that. Type of OS, bare metal OS.
Okay. So vSphere is one of the virtual box, just a kind of.
No, vSphere is means you can say that vSphere ESXi is the OS. Virtual VMware workstation is work like as a virtual box. Workstation is the type 2 basically.
Okay.
Okay, so it's taking time, guys. Just let's take a small break, 10-minute break, and connect again.
Okay.
Maybe you can pause the recording so it is not continue recording.
Hello. Oh, you strong lady. I got, oh, you strong. There you go. DCA, time to go home?
Going away for work.
Oh, you're going for work?
Yeah.
Where are you heading?
Portland, Oregon.
Wow, West Coast.
Yeah, it'll be very cold.
Very cold there?
Yes.
What happened? It changed the weather?
I don't know.
Oh,
40s and 50s every day.
wow. I'm gonna go this way. Wow, here is 50 today.
I know.
Yesterday was
Yesterday was
it was very beautiful, 80. So you're going for work for how long?
Till next Monday.
Okay.
So about a little more than a week.
So you go there every year?
This is my first time actually.
Really? Wow. Gonna be interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure be.
Citrix workspace, not any VM, sorry. You can say that the Citrix and VMware ESXi, especially vSphere, because VMware can provide a number of product. Citrix is a place where we can create a multiple virtual machine. Yes. Okay, so we can proceed because we successfully uploaded the virtual machines ISO image, Windows 10. What we need to do, we just need to select the ISO image that you uploaded, 5.42 gig of space. Just need to click select. Data storage, data stored ISO file should be a connect, click save. Once you save it, back to the virtual machines blank screen and press enter continue. Now we successfully booted our virtual machine through ISO image of our Windows 10 operating system. And normally you need to use the basic step to install the operating system. So mounting the OS means uploading the ISO image to the data store. Installation of our operating system means we need to open the virtual machines property, means setting, and assign the ISO image that you uploaded. Click next, select installation. That's it. It will normally take 5 to 7 minutes to install our virtual machine. Once our VM is ready to use, we will perform the task of VMware tools. I don't have product key. Please click here and proceed for the installation. I want to install VMware Windows 10 Pro. Next. Accept the license term. Click next. Normal procedure you need to use. We provided 15 gig of space, so no need to make any changes. Click next and wait for installation.
Because we don't have a license key, this will be valid for, I think, 3 months, right?
Correct. It's a pirated, you can say that. And if you have a license, you just need to provide the license key and proceed for installation. According to the configuration that you selected with virtual machine, it will take time. So meanwhile, let me know if anyone have question related to the procedure of creating virtual machine and installing the operating system with our VM and mounting the operating system ISO image to the data storage as well. Let me verify one more time. So in our today's session, we completed the part of create virtual machine, mount operating system ISO image, install OS to virtual machine. We are on page of third step. I hope all of you understand about the topics that we completed. If we talk about previous topic, so in previous topic we completed the all part except accessing the ESXi with the help of PuTTY. ESXi about the hardware requirement. We discussed about the installation. Access ESXi with the help of GUI. Access ESXi with the help of DCUI panel. And last option, PuTTY terminal. We will use it to resolve the issue of our virtual machine and ESXi host. Please go through and let me know if you have any question about the points that we completed. Okay, installation is in progress, so it hardly will take a 5-minute time to install it. Any doubt, any question, guys? It's a day one, so we need to set up the environment. So in case of to set up our own environment, you need to install VMware Workstation, download the ISO image, the link that I shared, Google Drive link, you just need to copy and paste and download the ISO image of ESXi host. And this ESXi host valid for 60 days, means you can perform the entire practical. If you think it's expired in next 60 days, so you just need to uninstall and install ESXi again. And it can help you to perform entire practical like as a license version. Rest of practical like the VMware tool. So definitely you know that without OS, we are unable to install any VMware tool. So once Windows 10, Windows 7 are the operating system that you want to install, once the installation completed, you need to proceed for the VMware tools installation. Is it clear about the topics that we completed, guys? Please let me know if you have any question, because this is day one. So you can ask anything related to the virtualization.
I still have a hard time understanding imaging ESXi, like compared to Windows. What would be ESXi?
ESXi is nothing. ESXi is a platform where we can create multiple virtual machine. For example, let's try to understand about the core usage of ESXi, because this is the backbone of our virtualizations. So as we discussed, you have a one hardware in the sense I'm talking about the desktop or laptop that you have with good configuration, 32 gig of RAM and 4 core of CPU and up to 1 TB of hard drive maybe. This is our desktop that contain a good configuration. Think about if you install Windows 7 or 10 operating system in this particular machine, definitely you are able to use only one OS at a time. You don't have option to manage another operating system. But if you install ESXi host, it will convert, the ESXi will convert your hardware in a different platform. The platform is considered as a VMware inventory. And the VMware inventory can help us to create multiple virtual machine. As per the configuration that you have, like as we have a 32 gig of RAM, so we can create n number of virtual machine. 4 gig RAM based virtual machine, 8 gig RAM based virtual machine, 2 gig of RAM based virtual machine like Windows 7, Windows 8, Windows 10, our server operating system, you can install. The benefit of our ESXi host that provide a platform to utilize our hardware. No need to purchase a multiple hardware to install different OS. You need to install one ESXi and install multiple operating system as a virtual machine. That's why most of organizations prefer to use a virtual environment setup to manage our hardware with n number of virtual machines. This is the actual use.
And if you compare this scenario with the real environment, instead of computer, we would just have like a Dell server or something like that, right?
Definitely, you need to purchase a server with good configuration, like as up to 256 GB of RAM and up to 8 core or 16 core of CPU, and should be used the shared storage like that. In case of real environment, you need to purchase at least one server as a hardware, not operating system. Because in case of server, which is categorized in two parts, hardware and software.
For
example,
maybe I'm going in advance, but I'm just wondering, like in our environment, I think we have servers and then the storage is coming from Nimble storage.
No, we will discuss about the shared storage as well, because we are on training part. So we will create our own storage with the help of OpenFiler, IceKZ, NFS. These protocol can help us to access the shared storage. Do not use the local storage.
Okay.
No, any organization prefer to use local storage, because what happens if your 1 TB hard disk damage, we will lose the entire virtual machine. So we will use the shared storage. If ESXi damage, if hard disk damage, we are able to recover our virtual machine from shared storage.
So in this case, the ESXi host failed, so entire VM inventory will fail, right?
Definitely will fail, but every VMs are safe. because you need to use the share storage, and virtual machines is stored by the share storage. ESXi damage, you need to create another ESXi and access the entire virtual machine's hard disk from the share storage.
So in our laptop, can we able to configure
Yes,
shared storage?
yes, we
And
will configure the share
on top
storage.
of it, install ESXi and do all these whatever you are telling.
Yes, if you have a 8 gig of RAM or 16 gig RAM based laptop, definitely we are able to set up the share storage services as well.
Okay, okay. Thank you.
This is the part of our training. So we'll discuss about the share storage management as well. Installation completed. We are able to use our virtual machine. As we know that Windows 10 take much time to create an account. So we will configure the one account for the accessing the services of Windows 10. So it is in progress. We need to wait. Okay, anything else, guys? Any questions about the topics that we completed? The license is applicable for only one operating system. We cannot use the same license for multiple virtual machines. The OS license is different. VMware license means ESXi license is different. Over a ESXi free trial ESXi license, you can install any number of virtual machine with the license. Installation is in progress. Once we're ready with the operating system, we will install the VMware tools. The basic step that you need to use to set up your Windows 10 operating system, you know that it will take time.
And right now the screen we see where it says VMware ESXi, that's not vSphere, right?
vSphere is the name of product. ESXi is the actual name of our software. The
Okay.
vSphere word you can use with any product of VMware. vSphere ESXi, vSphere vCenter, vSphere Horizon, vSphere NSX, right? Like in case of Windows. Windows is the common word. Windows 7, Windows XP, Windows 10, Windows 11, like that.
आपको सिटिंग ऑफिस है नैरो प्लेस में
Sorry?
दिल्ली गेट दरिया
Okay, so it's taking time. So we have just a few minutes are remaining. So it's time to Q&A. And if you want to ask anything about the virtualization or topics that we completed, please let me know.
Last time, I think if we were trying to find out the related certification and we weren't able to find, not sure if you were able to find that.
About the certification,
Like which the content of course covers which certification, I think. You gave a name and it's VCB or something, and then we were trying to find on VMware website and we couldn't find it, I think, last time.
actually, we are on page of VCP, VMware VCP certification. It's a professional certificate. I have already shared the content. Have you received the content?
No, I saw the content, but I'm asking like what certification it applies to, because I'm looking on VCP, but VCP has multiple certifications, right?
Right. So actually, this is the content related to the VCP data center, virtualization and data center.
So VCP DCV, right?
Correct. It's a VCP hyphen DCV related to the data center virtualization with VMware virtualization.
Yeah, I found it. VCP DCV 2022.
Yep.
The basic one is technical associate and the second one is professional. That's what we are doing.
Correct. Correct. Any other question, guys? Anyone want to ask anything related to the certification content or topics? The latest version of 7.0. But if we talk about the real environment scenario, so most of organizations, 90% organizations, still they are using 6.5 or 6.7. 6.5 is a common, means if you have idea about 6.5, definitely you're able to perform tasks with 6.7 or 7.0. So not an issue, I'm good with both, because the version can impact in case of vCenter server. When we install the vCenter server, then we will discuss about means which version we need to proceed. Yes, multiple automation services include in our 7.0. So I'll guide you and compare between the ESXi 6.5, 6.7, and 7.0. So we will compare. According to that, we'll proceed for the training. Okay, installation is almost completed. We need to assign the username and password detail. And by next week, we'll discuss about the VMware tool and other topics which is required. Is it clear, guys?
Yep.
Please.
So next time we will have class on Saturday, right?
Sorry?
Next class will be on Saturday.
Saturday, yeah. Okay, everyone. So this is all about the topics that we covered. And please let me know if anyone have suggestion or anything else that you want to add. And hope so you will receive the recordings, maybe 1 or 2 hours. Coordinator, can you hear me? Any coordinator available in meeting? Okay, Bhavan, no problem. Thank you so much to all of you. We'll connect next week on Saturday.
Okay, thank you. Bye.